it's split into the two, into the prime masculine and prime feminine, or divine masculine and divine feminine. The two opposites that create each other, exist in forms different than the other, but dependent upon each other, and only really know the other by the voids of itself. So consciousness begins with matter and energy. So you have the proton, neutron in the atom, right? You have the electron flying around the outside, creating what they call an electron shell. This electron is creating a force, a pull, and an attraction. This electromagnetic effect. It's like when you take two magnets and you hold them together, right? And they want to attract that pull, or when they want to repel each other, that push out. That thing is consciousness. The force in between the proton and the neutron and the electron to keep the electron in orbit around it is consciousness. It's the electromagnetic push and pull.
And I'll lift you up, hold open my door, and I'll be right by your side, my 44.
So you have the photon strikes the electron. The electron jumps out into another shell. And there can be multiple electrons. They're all getting hit, and so it has this outgrown shell of energy, right? And then it drops back down and spits out the photon. So in the excited state, it becomes a larger thing, or it gets more energy. So does this pull in between the proton, neutron, and the electron. The pull strengthens as well, and then it drops back down. So it has a contrast, right? It has two different states, or multiple different states. Between those repulsions and of the same thing happening with other atoms next to it, all of those things in between all of them are the electromagnetic effect of consciousness. Through that jump of energy, the proton, the neutron, and the electron that reverberates out as a vibration. So that vibration is a signal. And at the point when the atomic structure allowed for that signal to communicate with itself, is when it gained the ability to affect its own growth through intent or the signal. And then so they just kept creating more complex assemblies of atoms to cells, organisms, anything to carry the signal. So like a rock, you have a rock. A rock doesn't, we wouldn't call that conscious, but it actually is, or does contain consciousness in the fact that it's held together by these atoms that are bonds together. But they're not in a form that can transmit the signal. That signal is life, the pattern, the original, the explosion of the Big Bang, or the moment of creation, or however you want to look at it. There's the pattern of life within all of it. So the signal of life that eventually is a complex energy system that can carry thoughts or create thoughts. So like when that signal is all in line and things are working in line together towards the same goal, you have consciousness, which is really